Industrial Zeolite Catalysts version 2.0. Zeolite catalysts can be characterized as microstructured products. This basically means that their unique catalytic and adsorptive properties are dependent on structural information, including size and shape of the compositional molecules in pores, the accessibility of the pores, and their associated charges and faults. The specific zeolite catalyst that we're focusing on, ZSM5, aids in the cracking process of crude oil into N-heptane and octane, components of gasoline. The fundamental building block of all zeolite catalysts can be boiled down to a tetrahedron of either a small silicon or aluminum ion surrounded by 4 oxygen anions. The oxygens in the structure are arranged so that they connect to neighboring tetrahedra, forming a crystal lattice. This open framework produces a defined pore structure with a high surface area, which is advantageous to the catalytic functions of the zeolites. Why zeolite catalysts? Honestly, they just sounded cool. So, recorded knowledge of zeolites dates back to 1756, when the first natural zeolite was discovered and named stilbite. Other natural zeolites were discovered in the 1800s, and 1862 marked the date of the first zeolite synthesis, which was leavenite. Many major breakthroughs in the world of zeolites occurred in the 60s. In 1962, shape selectivity properties of zeolites were demonstrated, and in 1964, zeolites first hit the commercial cracking market as catalysts. Another major advancement happened in 1966 to 1967, when organic cations began to be used as templates for zeolite synthesis. Today, industry primarily takes advantage of synthetic zeolites as opposed to natural ones, because synthetic zeolites take relatively little time to synthesize and are much more pure. Currently, zeolites are heavily used as catalysts in the field of industrial cracking at approximately 840,000 tons per year, and hydrocracking at approximately 1,400 tons per year. They're also used in various non-cracking reactions, which total to about 200 tons of zeolite catalysts per year. As they are also effective at filtering out contaminants from various natural bodies, for example, heavy metals and water, they are also used on a much smaller scale for pollution control at less than 100 tons per year. Hopefully, these numbers will increase as zeolite functionality improves and it is more commonly used in pollution control. Also note that they're a little outdated, so don't trust the numbers wholeheartedly. Dust and other particulates can get into the pores, diminishing the effectiveness of the catalyst by not allowing the reaction to proceed unhindered. The creation of coke, a carbon-rich solid often used as fuel, occurs during side reactions. This coke is a mixed blessing. Although it can increase the effectiveness of the reaction by using the exothermic combustion of the coke itself to provide heat for the endothermic cracking process, the addition of coke leads to catalytic poisoning, which is caused by the absorption of the coke into the pores of the active surfaces. This could even potentially lead to the disintegration of the underlying crystalline structure of the catalyst itself. So, for our version 2.0, we thought that dealing with the coke problem was a larger known challenge to the cracking process, especially since catalytic deactivation is so costly. One solution that we considered was focusing on the acid sites within each zeolite catalyst. By treating the zeolite catalyst with a weak base in order to neutralize some of the acid sites, we would minimize coke formation, although you do still get some coke, which is good, while not having too great an effect on the amount of product, aka cracked hydrocarbons, produced. Replacing the silicon ion with the aluminum ion requires a cation, typically a proton, to keep the zeolite catalyst charge neutral. So the acidity of the catalyst is directly related to the amount of aluminum ion. If we treat the catalyst with a weak base, we can maintain charge neutrality while getting rid of some of the excess protons. Adding a base also leads to the desilication of the initial zeolite catalyst, changing the structure and the density and acidity of the acid sites. So there's higher process efficiency here because the coke doesn't deactivate active sites on the catalyst, which allows hydrocarbons to enter the catalyst, be cracked, and leave in a timely manner. It doesn't need to be replaced in the middle of the manufacturing process and would boost the overall volumetric productivity of the cracking. So for our calculations, we did the version 2.0 increases the amount of available pores, which decreases the amount of time needed for cracking reactions to occur, thereby increasing the flux. And for our dimensional analysis, we saw that fluid velocity and pore size, as measured by volume would increase in our version 2.0, resulting in a corresponding increase in mass flow rate, which is great and will result in more products and profits. So since zeolite catalysts play such a huge role in the oil industry, which comprises trillions of dollars of our economy, there's a lot of investment in research pertaining to these catalysts and their optimization at the current moment. We want to maximize efficiency and minimize costs. Dollar bills, y'all. Also, it's more beneficial to prevent excessive production of coke altogether instead of investing time and money into regenerating catalysts after they have been poisoned, because catalytic deactivation in cracking processes can happen very quickly, even on the order of seconds. It's most cost-effective to simply reduce rates of catalytic deactivation in order to preclude catalytic regeneration later on in the process. So, bibliography.